Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Healthy Cooking with Shayda. This is where I teach you how to make simple, healthy, delicious meals that are salt, oil, and sugar free. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes, which is based partially off of P.F. Chang's lettuce cups, because I used to go there all the time and I loved getting their lettuce cups. But now, they make it with so much oil and other things in there that I can't do it. So I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I can try to recreate something similar to what they were making. It's nowhere near what they're making, but I like my version because it's salt, oil, and sugar free. It is gluten free. It is completely vegan, so I thoroughly enjoy it. And what's in it is butternut, cilantro, black beans, garlic, rice, cauliflower, onions, bell peppers, and corn. We're going to eventually put all this in the butter lettuce and put them in a cup and enjoy it that way. But the beauty of this recipe is that if you don't want to put this in the lettuce, you don't have to. This actually makes a great filling for if you want to put it in tacos, if you want to make burritos, you can do tortillas. I mean, you could put this in just about anything. Or if you want, you could put this on top of rice and eat it, or just eat it plain the way it is. So how about we get cooking? Okay, let's start. Okay, so right now we're going to put some chopped onions. The pan's been warming up. We're going to add this in here. You hear that sizzling? That's what we want, because we are going to basically dry saute the onions, and we're going to do this until it gets caramelized. What you want to do is put the lid on. You want this on medium high. You want to put the lid on and you want the onions to sweat themselves out. So this will take a little bit of time. We do have water on the side here, so that if in case we do need to add some water to it, we can definitely do that. So let's check to see how our onions are doing. As you can see, our onions are starting to caramelize and it is starting to stick a little bit. So I am going to add a little bit of water. Don't add a lot. Look how beautifully this is caramelizing. And people say that we need oil to caramelize. We don't need any oil. You can do it just fine without it. So we're going to let this caramelize just a little bit longer before we add everything else to it. So let's check our onion. Oh yeah, check that out, people. It is caramelizing beautifully. This is what we want. And if you see that it needs a little bit more water, go ahead and add, but don't add a lot. I want to scrape the bottoms out. I love the sound of it sizzling like that. So now that this has caramelized, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the chopped bell peppers. I'm going to add the corn. I've got roasted corn, but you could do white corn. But I like the roasted corn. We're going to add the black beans. We are going to add the onions. I try to add the onions later, not with the onions, because I don't want them to burn and I want to be able to taste the onions in the food. We are going, now for the butternut squash, I typically buy a whole butternut squash and I cube them, but right now at Trader Joe's, they have them like this, already all done for you. They even have the cubed ones. And I thought this would be kind of fun to have in our dish tonight. So why not try something fun, while we're eating. Now look how colorful this dish is already starting to look. You want to turn down the heat a little bit. It's a little too high. I'm going to turn it down. And what I'm going to add next is the riced cauliflower. Like I said, you could take your whole head of cauliflower and go ahead and do it yourself in the food processor, or you could be lazy like me and buy it from Trader Joe's. Either one will definitely work. This is probably about 3 cups, I would say, of the riced cauliflower and gently go ahead and mix everything together. It looks like it has snowed in the food, but it's just oh so good. And we want to make sure that we're going to be cooking this for another 5 to 8 minutes because I want the cauliflower to cook up. I want the butternut squash to cook up. What you can do with the butternut squash, if you want, you can go ahead and heat it up, put it in the microwave or steam it. I'm going to add a little bit of water to get it going, to get the steam going. You can go ahead and steam that up for about 3 minutes before putting it in this dish, so you had already cooked it a little bit, and then you can go ahead and add it. So right now, this dish is almost ready to go. And look how beautiful that looks. So let's put the lid back on and let it do its magic. So let's check on our mixture and see how everything's doing. Let's give it a good mix. I still want the cauliflower to cook a little bit longer. It's getting there. Now you see what I mean, that this could also be a good burrito filling. It's just such a colorful dish. You know, we eat with our eyes, so if our food doesn't look pretty or colorful, we're not, you know, inclined to eat it. So always make sure there's a rainbow of color in your food. So let's check on our mixture here. What I'm trying to do is I want the cauliflower to cook down. You see how white it is? I don't want it so white anymore because the longer you cook it, the more it's going to start cooking. So that's what we're trying to do here. So this has been going on for probably about 8 to 10 minutes now, so we're just going to do a little bit longer. I think we're almost there, and then we're going to add all of our seasoning and we're going to be ready to eat this. All right guys, so let's check back. I think this is pretty much done. This is what you want. Yep, we're good to go. So now I want you to turn off the heat. Let me move the lid out of the way. Now, we're going to take about 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and we're going to add to it. We're going to take cumin, probably about 1 to 2 tablespoons of cumin, or more or less, depending on what you like. Make sure you mix it well. Let's just add a little bit more. Okay. And then we are going to add the Sweet Heat balsamic vinegar from California Balsamics. Now, if you do not have that, there's no problem. One, you could leave it the way it is. It's absolutely delicious. Here's the Sweet Heat that I'm talking about. You could add also, in place of that, you could also add the sweet chili sauce from the Date Lady, and I will post a link for both of those. Or you can add like the Cholula hot sauce. You could add that. If you like, you can add sriracha to it. So the options are out there as to what to add for on top of it. So don't think that it has to be just what I'm using. Although I got to tell you, what I'm using is absolutely delicious. So you're going to give this a good mix. Oh, this smells so good, you guys. So this dish is ready now. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how I have plated it and give you some options as to what you can do at home. So our meal is ready, and these are the living butter lettuces that I'm talking about, and you can see they're like in a cute little cup form. They do come in different sizes, but this batch that I got, they were kind of small, so it's okay, we can do bite size. So all we're going to do, oh, by the way, one thing I did do is I do have to chop cilantro, and I did add that at the very end, and I mixed it all in. So there is cilantro in this, and if you want to leave it out, you certainly can if you don't like cilantro. But I'm telling you, if you like cilantro, it just adds another level to it. So all you're going to do is you're going to take a little spoon, and you're going to stuff it in here. Make sure not to overstuff it. And here's your little lettuce cup. And you don't have to be left out when others are eating lettuce cups. So it may not be P.F. Chang's, but I'm telling you what, my version is pretty darn good, you guys. And I really hope that you try it. So it's really that easy. And I hope you give this recipe a try. And I want to thank you for watching another episode of Healthy Cooking with Shayda. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all under the same name, Healthy Cooking with Shayda. We look forward to seeing you with other episodes. Remember, guys, it's one bite at a time, one meal at a time. Thank you so much, and have a good night.